Welcome to Yoga with Val. We're going to be working into our lower back. If you know that your hamstrings are tight and you'd like to work with a belt, please have one to hand. Remember, you can use a dressing gown tie, a belt, a man's tie, whatever works for you. The idea is that it's going to allow us an extension of our arms so that we can get a long stretch through the leg. We'll begin by coming down onto our mat. Think about releasing your spine down onto the mat. Have a little check that you've got space overhead, adjusting if you need to. You might want to check that you can lengthen those legs away and they're not coming into contact with anything. Have a think about how your lower back feels right now, if you'd like to, starting with your knees bent, feet flat to the floor, as we settle and release the hips and find the position where the lower back is comfortable. Try and feel balance through your hips, relaxing and releasing down onto the mat, and finding a position where your lower back can settle into its natural curve. Do take a moment to adjust, to find the position that's right for you. If you're happy to, you can extend the legs away straight away. If it doesn't work, come back to knees bent, semi-supine. Think of lengthening through the spine, releasing through your shoulders, finding a position where the head feels centered, and breathe. If you're happy to, your eyes are closed. You're breathing in and out through your nose. And we're beginning to allow the body to release down onto the mat. Take the arms a comfortable distance from the body. You might have the palms turned up, backs of the hands to the mat. Aware of the natural flow of your breath. Check the position of your head. Does it feel centered? A little space through the throat. Back of the head settling into the mat, relaxing and releasing through the muscles of the face and releasing through your jaw. Aware of the weight of the arms drifting down into your mat. As those shoulders release, you feel open through the chest. Aware of the front of the body moving with your breath. As you breathe in, we open and expand. As you breathe out, relax and release. Make any adjustments you need to. Finding that position where you're settling. Using your attention of your breath to bring the focus into your body. Recognizing this is your time for your yoga practice. Relaxing and releasing through your legs, softening through your feet and toes. If your legs are extended, your heels should be slightly apart, encouraging those feet to roll outwards. Nice, steady, deep in breaths, long, thorough out breaths. Tuning into your body. Preparing yourself for your yoga. Remembering we're going to be kind with our body. You're going to work in a way that might feel a nice deep stretch, but nothing that approaches injury level. Feel free to leave anything out, to stop whenever it suits you. So a few nice steady breaths, breathing in, creating space. Breathing out, relaxing and releasing. In breath creates space and opening. Out breath, we relax and release. A few nice deep breaths. Really bringing that focus into your body so you can recognize how you're feeling. Recognize any feedback from your body. Pay attention, adjust as you need. When you're ready, we'll have a little wriggle and paddle into those toes and feet, just to awaken the feet a little. When you're ready, have a little stretch and wriggle into those hands and fingers. You might feel you want a little roll into the neck, just a little ease through. A few gentle preparations. We're going to start by moving to a position where those knees are bent, feet flat to the floor. We're going to do a few pelvic tilts. We're looking to flatten the small of the back down into the mat. So you'll be drawing down with the tummy muscles as if your belly button's pulling down towards the spine as you tilt a little through the pelvis. You'll notice my hips are staying flat to the mat as I push the lower back down, tilt through the hips. I'm not lifting, we don't want any lift. The weight of the body stays down into the mat, the back of the waist push down, tummy muscles pulling in, tilting through the pelvis. So just a few gentle pelvic rocks, settling and releasing in between each tilt. So we'll draw a knee onto the tummy. I'm going to start with my right leg. Right knee comes down into the tummy. Might be holding underneath the shin. Thinking about stretching into that lower back. Make sure you're breathing. Foot's relaxed. The work's into the lower back and the hip. You can release that side. Bring the other knee up as you're ready. Keep breathing naturally. Remember, your lefts and rights might feel different. You might be drawing that shin down. You might have hands onto thigh. Hands might be up closer to your knee. Work with what's right for you and your body, focusing on opening that lower back. Releasing as we feel balanced, foot comes down to the mat. Going to the other side once more, knee comes up, drawing down. Breathing. Try and keep this thigh onto the side of the body. Try not to let it go out under the armpit. Releasing the foot to mat. Bringing up the other side again. Hugging in the way that feels right for you. Focusing on working into that lower back. Again, try not to let the knee go out over the armpit. It's drawing down into the side of the chest. Releasing foot to foot. Last one, bringing the knee up, hugging in. If you feel you want to add something a little extra, roll in towards that knee. Always make sure you release your head and shoulders before we release that leg. Changing to the other side, knee comes up, we hug. If you want to, you can roll yourself up in towards that knee. Keep breathing as you feel balanced, releasing head and shoulders, hands release leg, foot comes down. We'll work into a little twist. We'll start with those ankles and knees a little way apart. I'm going to move your belt out of the way, arms are over to the side. I'm going to drop my knees to the right first of all. Knees are going to drop softly to the right, soles of the feet turn off the mat. If you want to, the head can turn left. You don't have to involve the head movement. Try and breathe and release into this position. Encourage those knees to drop over. Encourage the shoulders to flatten, the chest to be open. Think about using your in-breath as you roll head to centre, knees to centre. Then I'm going to drop my knees to the left. Head might turn to the right. Encouraging those knees to release, soles of the feet turned off the mat. Feeling this into the lower back and the waist. When that feels balanced for you, breathe into centre. Those you prefer working with the feet in together, bring your ankles and knees in together. Allow the knees to drop over to the right, ankles and knees stay together, and the head might turn to the left. We're settling into this twist. We're encouraging that chest to be open. When we're ready, we can breathe into center and allow those knees to drop over to the left. Head might turn to the right. Settle into your twist. Be aware of your breath. Can you feel the twist in the waist? Can you feel open through your chest? Are you relaxing and releasing? When that feels balanced, use an in-breath to come to center. We're going to do one more, and we're going to draw that knee up towards the armpit. So if the knees go over to the right, that right knee then comes up towards, that's your left knee comes up towards the right arm. We're breathing, we're opening the chest. We might be turning the head to look left. Then we can slide those knees back together, bring the feet back to the mat, and change. So the knees drop left, the right knee might come up towards that left arm, turning the head, trying to settle through the shoulders, making sure you're breathing. When you're ready, you can slide that foot down so the feet come together, come to center. Your choice, do you want a straightening stretch, or would you prefer for your back to bring your knees in and curl in, lifting your head towards your knees? Whenever you're ready, releasing. We're going to work into hip circles next. We're going to do knees in opposite directions. So bringing both knees up onto the tummy. Hands might come onto the knees, so you're cupping the hands over the knees. Bring the knees up towards you, take them apart, push them away, bring them back together. So we're doing really nice big circles through those hips. I know some of you will like to keep your big toes together. You might even want to work without the hands. If you do, please draw those tummy muscles down so that we protect the lower back. So we're circling a few that time, then we'll go in the opposite direction. So the knees go down the centre line, they come apart, come up under your armpits, draw back together. So we want to circle this way, the same amount of times as we did the other side, with or without your hands, your choice. Okay, so we work until we feel balanced. And it's quite nice to have a little hug of those thighs into the body as you finish. Allowing the feet to relax and release. We'll bring those feet down to the mat. We're going to bring ourselves up to sitting, so you might roll onto one side and push up. Okay, we are going to work into our cat next, so it's onto our hands and knees. Have your hands directly under your shoulders, your knees directly under your hips. Spreading those hands out wide, so we take weight down under all the finger joints. Remember, if you're not comfortable working on your wrists, you can work onto your knuckles. I'm going to start with a flat backed position. We're going to allow the tummy to relax down towards the mat, the chest to come between the arms slightly, and we look forwards. Then we're going to arch. Draw the chin in towards the chest, tuck the tail under, lift high through the centre of your spine. Try and make this movement through the whole of the spine. Keep working chest forwards, tummy relaxed, looking forwards. And then going into your arch, drawing your chin in, your tail under. Working into that wonderful cat position, releasing the spine. One more if you're happy to, belly releasing, looking forwards. Coming into or out. If you're happy to from here, we'll come back into our extended child pose. So that's taking the bottom back towards the heels, leading those arms stretched out wide. You might come onto the forearms for a bit of relief off those wrists. Dropping the forehead down to the mat. Remember, you can always put your hands one on top of each other under your head. And have a little relax and release there. We're going to bring ourselves onto our back again and work with the strap if you need it for that leg stretch. Laying the spine down onto the mat. I'm going to work to my right leg first of all, so the belt goes just under the toe joints. Try not to have it in the instep and make sure that little toe has some space. So the leg stretches up to the ceiling. You can have both hands on the belt as high as you can reach, and you're drawing that foot overhead. Trying to keep the hips down, so draw your belly button down towards the mat. Try and lengthen through the heels, so we're opening the back of the knee. If you can take hand to foot, you can draw the foot over. Remember, we can release and you can draw over again. We're looking to work gently to stretch into that hamstring, that back thigh muscle. Work in the way that's right for you. Easing a stretch, releasing. You can step the other foot into the belt, or you might find it's easier to bring the foot down, work in the way that's right for you. Might be you can reach the toes so you don't need your belt. We're encouraging that leg to stretch to the ceiling, so we're open through the back of the knee, and we're gently easing the foot overhead and releasing. So ease it over. If you enjoy the stretch, keep it there and breathe through the stretch. Have a think about what's happening, drawing those tummy muscles down. Working into that hamstring, that lovely long thigh muscle. Feeling the stretch. And releasing when you're ready. Go once more to the other side. So see how it feels the second time round. So the leg that's down to the mat, the knees bent, that stays nice and firmly there. Try and keep those hips flat. Think about stretching and lengthening through that heel, opening the back of the knee, drawing the foot over towards you. Breathe. Remember to work with what's right for you. If you need to release and stretch again, release and stretch again. Then we can change to the other side once more. Bringing that foot down, getting those hips squared, drawing that foot over. Releasing. Draw, release. Feel the stretch opening through the back of the knee. When you're ready, that foot can come down. We can take the belt to one side. Quite a nice stretch is to take our legs up the wall. So turning the hips to the wall, take the legs up to the ceiling. Allow the body to relax and release. Legs are now supported by the wall. You can allow those heels to release against the wall. You might have a little bend in your knees if you need to. If you want to work harder, take the soles of the feet to the ceiling. Feel your lower back, the back of the rib cage, all coming down in contact with the mat. Just appreciate being there for a nice few deep breaths. When you're ready to come down, roll those knees down. We are going to come up to sitting next, so bring yourself up to a sitting position, and we're going to do a forward bend. We're going to forward bend over one leg. Start with both legs in front of you. You might want your belt, It's up to you. We're going to keep facing the right leg and take the left leg out to the side. Those of you that like sitting in the full Janusarasana posture, take the sole of the foot, the left foot onto the right thigh, but that knee does want to open out. So please work in the modified position if it's better for you. If you know you really struggle, have your belt onto your right foot. This becomes an extension of the arms to encourage us to bring the body over. We don't want to be tug-of-warring with that leg, we want to be opening the back of the knee and bringing the body forwards. Okay, if you know that you're a good forward bender and you don't need that assistance, hands are on the top of the thigh, we breathe in tall and we slide along that leg. Allow your body to relax and release forwards. If you're working with the belt, we're bringing that chest forwards, we're getting a stretch through the back. Breathing length into the spine, breathing out to release your body over that leg. When ready to come up, we breathe in to slide up. We'll do a traditional hinge over that leg now, for those of you that wish to. Breathing in, stretch to the ceiling, out breath, hinge forwards over that leg. Really relax and release into that right leg. Think of a lengthening your spine along the leg. Check that you're breathing. Trying to relax that body forwards. Don't be locking out that right knee. If you're really feeling this in your hamstrings, feel free to bend that knee a little bit to encourage you to lengthen forwards, and then you can work on bringing the back of the knee down to the mat over time. Nice big in-breath to lift ourselves up and out and releasing those arms down. So we're going to bring that left leg in to join the right. Take the hands behind the hips, have a little lift of the chest and the gaze towards the ceiling to have a gentle counterposing back bend, and then we'll release ourselves forwards. So we're going to do the same thing over that left foot. If you need your belt goes under the left toes, right leg's out to the side, or foot into the top of the groin, knee dropping outwards. So first of all, we're either coming forward using that belt or we're sliding down that leg. Think of releasing yourself forwards. Remember the left and right side might feel different. Breathing, lengthening along that leg, encouraging yourself to rest and release forwards. Think about that knee. How's your left knee? How's the left hamstring? If you need to release the knee a little bit, if you're using that belt, withdrawing the chest forwards. And sliding yourself up when you feel balanced. We'll go for the stretch and reach for those of you that don't need the belt. If you're using the belt, same thing again. You're thinking about being tall and drawing the body forwards. For those of you that are ready to stretch, breathe in, stretching up and lengthening through the spine. Out breath, hinge forwards and lay yourself along that left leg. Wherever it works for you. Might be a bit of a bend in that knee. Try and relax and release your head and shoulders and let those hands come down to the mat. Breathe in your forward leg. As you breathe, you're lengthening that spine. As you're breathing out, you're releasing down. In breath to create space, out breath to release. When that's balanced or that's enough for you, we breathe in to stretch up. We breathe out to release. When you're up, you're going to bring those feet in together. We're going to take those hands behind the hips. Lift the chest to the ceiling, lift the gaze to the ceiling, drawing those shoulder blades together a little. So we're getting a bit of a back bend. And we'll relax and release those shoulders forwards. Let's turn. I'm going to stay here. I'm not going to turn forward. I'm going to bring that right knee up. We're going to go into a twist. Now, if your foot will sit flat to the mat, you can come over the left knee. Otherwise, it stays where it was. I'm going to twist round to the right. So in order for you to see what's happening, I am going to adjust my position. So the left leg's extended, toes to the ceiling, the right knee's in, maybe the foot over. We're going to take the left arm and hug that right thigh. We're going to extend the right arm, twist round to the right. Fingertips come onto the mat. Use that arm to prop into the body. Don't be leaning into the arm's pushing into the body. Might be your hands flat to the floor. You're looking over your right shoulder. We want to think about being nice and tall, breathing. Open the chest. Encourage those shoulders to move away from each other. Thinking about your posture. When you're ready, extend that arm, come forwards. Stay on your mat in the position you're in. Just switch, taking the right leg away, bringing the left leg in. I'm going to move so that you can see that position. So with the left knee in, the right arm hugs, the left arm extends, and we twist round to the left. Remember that arm's bracing into the body. Don't allow the body to lean out to the arm. We're sitting tall. We're looking over that left shoulder. Try and keep your chest open. Breathing in, creating some space. Good. Tall. Really appreciating that twist. When you're ready, extend that arm, bring yourself forwards. Going to work both sides again. I'm not going to move on my mat this time, so the left leg stretches away. The right knee comes in, we hug it in. The right foot might go over the outside of the left knee, only if the foot will sit flat to the mat. The left arm hugs that right leg into you, right arm extended, twisting around to the right. Now this time, if you want to, instead of placing that hand on the mat and propping into the body, you might be taking the back of the hand into the waist. So the palm faces outwards. Dropping those shoulders, keeping the chest open, nice and tall. Think about your posture. Have you got height through your spine? Is your chest open? Are your shoulders relaxed? Are you aware of your breath? Working in the way that's right for you. When you're ready, extend that arm and bring yourself forwards. And as you're ready to, you'll take yourself round to the left. So right leg extends, left knee comes in. Foot might go to the outside of the right knee. It's that right arm that hugs in the left leg. Extend the left arm, twist round to the left. Your choice, fingers to mat or hand into back of waist. Looking over that left shoulder if you can. Breathing, creating space and height through the spine as you breathe in. Relaxing and releasing as you breathe out. Do try and keep that height in your spine. Be aware of your posture at all times. You kept those right toes up to the ceiling. Your chest feeling nice and open. When you feel balanced, we extend and bring ourselves forwards. Good. Stretch those legs away. Have a little straightening stretch up to the ceiling. Wriggle through if you need to. And then relax and release those arms down. We're going to work into dog posture for those of you who are happy to. Just be mindful of your blood pressure, okay, because the head's going to be lower than the heart. We will go into dog from our cat pose. So we're on our hands and knees. This time our knees and feet are in together and we're going to turn those toes under. Have your hands nice and firmly down, palms down to the mat, arms approximately shoulder width. Take the soles of the feet towards the mat as you lift those knees up off the mat. We lengthen through the sides of the body, encourage the chest to drop down through those arms, releasing the head and the neck, and lifting up through those hips. Work on trying to get those heels down as you keep those hips lifted. Think about using a little bit of tone through your tummy muscles. We want to feel that we're in a V shape. Okay, you might be here somewhere, in which case you need to push back a little more through those arms. Feeling that work into your shoulders. Good. Breathing. Think about when you need to come down. And whenever you are ready to come down, we come down knees together, lowering down to the mat, and then we kind of stretch back in that extended child posture. Bottom back towards the heels. Relaxing and releasing the head forwards. If you want to, hands come one on top of each other under the head. Let's bring ourselves back round to lay on the mat to have our little relax and release through. So those knees come forwards. Roll your spine down onto your mat. Remember, if you don't want to relax and release on your mat, you could lay in recovery position. Might want to make sure you've got your space suitably around you. So how does your back feel? Do you need to hug a knee in? If you do, also hug the other knee in. Maybe you want to hug both knees in together, just to find that position where you can relax and release your lower back. By all means, if you're on your back and you want to stay with the knees bent, feet flat to the floor, stay in that position. Otherwise, thinking of lengthening those legs away from you. If you wish, your arms release at your sides, encouraging the palms to the ceiling, back to the hands to the mat. It's important you find a position that works for you to relax and release. Recognise at any point you need to, you can adjust your position. If you're comfortable to, closing your eyes, breathing in and out through the nose. Really becoming aware of your breath and beginning to deepen that breath. Feel settled through your hips. Lower back releasing into its natural shape. Spine in a nice straight line. Relaxing and releasing through your shoulders. Feeling open through your chest. Find a centered position for your head. Little length in the neck. Throat feeling open. Ears an equal distance from the shoulders. Back of the head beginning to settle into the mat. Aware of the natural flow of your breath. Relaxing and releasing across your brow. Softening across your cheeks. Releasing through your jaw. Even aware of the tongue relaxing in the mouth. Your shoulders release. Be aware of that open sense through the chest. Freedom to your breath. Relaxing and releasing the weight of your head fully down onto your mat. Bring your attention into your arms, upper arms releasing. Space in your elbows, lower arms relax. Space in your wrists, feeling open through your palms. Relaxing through thumbs and all of your next out breath, releasing the weight of your arm. Bring the attention to the center of your body, where as you breathe in, of your tummy lifting, ribcage opening, chest rising. As you breathe out, the chest begins to fall, ribcage to close and tummy to release down. Your in-breath creates space and opening through your body. Your out-breath, relaxing, releasing. Staying with the natural flow of your breath. Relax across your tummy. Release through your lower back. Relaxing and releasing across your hips, through the whole of the pelvis. Upper legs releasing. Space in your knees. Relaxed through your lower legs. Space in your ankles. Soft through your feet. And released through all of your toes. With your next out breath, release the weight of your legs down into your feet. A way of relaxing and releasing from the top of the head to the tips of your toes. As you encourage your body to release fully, encourage your mind to let go. See if you can bring your full attention to your breath. Fully aware of the breath. Everything else disappears. We're only aware of our breath. Choose to stay here a little longer. If you're ready, we want to stretch into fingers and toes, perhaps roll through them. We can begin to deepen our breath. Might be you've got feeling for a lovely long stretch, wriggle all the way through. Might feel that now's the right time to bring your knees carefully onto your tummy for a little hug in. Maybe you fancy a little rock across your hips. And when you're ready, you can roll onto one side and bring yourself up to a sitting position. Sit for a moment in a position that feels right for you, where your spine feels upright. Settling through your hips. And as you're ready, take a lazy twist to one side. Appreciate being in that twist for a couple of breaths. You can ease into a twist on the other side. A few breaths so you feel balanced. Bring yourself back to center as you're ready. We'll finish with a nice big deep breath. Breathing in, reach both arms up towards the ceiling. Bend at the elbows if you need to for your shoulders. And as you breathe out, releasing. Hope you've enjoyed your yoga practice today. Thank you very much. Namaste.